Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I always wanted to tell everybody this, and I have told people this, and the response I got was really crazy. Is I believe that if we would do away with all the money and everybody just do things, because we're creators, right? We create things, and if we would get rid of all the money, it would take care of all the evil in this world. And the responses I got from a lot of people was, "You're crazy. We can't do that. We have to have money. Everybody go crazy." I'm like, why are they going to go crazy? You know, everything's free. You know, you need something, you go get it. It's all free because it's being made. It's still being made because everybody's still doing things. You know, you don't want to just sit at home. That's ridiculous. You can show up somewhere, depending on what job it is, and just there's no, you know, it's like productivity. You got to get this done. We got to talk. No, and none of that no more, because that's the corporations pushing you for money. So you just do the job, make the things, and we just produce it. Take the money out of the equation. And the reason why I say that is because I woke up this morning and heard some news, heard some things going on. And, coffee. And I heard some things going on, and God is doing his thing. He's a miracle. He does miracles and lets you see things, and you don't even know it. But I seen it. And here's what happened. Okay, so you know how this system has made it where you write a will and you give it to your kids, and the government's always trying to get into it, and it's just it's a crap. It's a crap show. So anyway, and then when in most wills you'll see everybody fighting over stuff. It's ridiculous. I mean, fighting over money. It's so bad. It changes everybody's whole outlook on everything, and they just fight over stuff. And the more you have, the more they fight. Now, I only know one family in my whole life that does not fight over money, and it's my aunt, and I'm not going to say which one, but her whole family does not fight over money. It's the only people I ever seen, which I applaud them for being good Christians and good people. But if you fell into this where you're fighting over wills and money and all that stuff, God's going to show you. And it's funny how it all worked out where, let's see, where should I start with this story? It's really good. Okay, let's start it here. There's this bad guy, and he's a really bad guy. He raised his family, and he trained his family how to keep secrets in the family, and he did terrible things to this family. He did really bad things to this family, which you probably know what I'm talking about. He did those things to the grandkids, and it just went on and on. Well, one of them had enough, and he went to prison, and he was in prison for a long time. And his health was up and down, blah, blah, blah. Well, meanwhile, when he's in prison, the mother that was pretty much involved in a lot of this stuff always threatened the kids, saying, "You're going to be out of the will. You're going to be out of the will. You won't get nothing. I got insurance policies." All this bullshit about money, to motivate them, to get them in line how they want them to basically control the mass. Compared to like that, right? Yeah, just like that. Well, one day, mother gets cancer, and she ends up passing. And all the kids were there except for one, which I can't understand because the guy was horrible to all of them. And And then it comes out where they're only there for the money, and they're going to be in that straight line for the money. And how I'm going to tell you the story is, I can't tell you certain things because, you don't need to hear that. But anyway, she passed. He got out of prison. And the lady that passed had insurance policies, a house, a home. I think she owed a little bit money on the home, money in the bank, and it was supposed to be left for the kids. Again, keeping them in a straight line, right? And he gets out of prison, spends all of it. Spends every damn bit of it. The insurance policy also paid off the home. At least the mother was intending on doing some good things, which, the evil guy that messed up the woman in the first place, he got out, spent it all, and ended up in the hospital. He was even had a caretaker and was giving her a lot of money. And when the money was gone and he's in the hospital, so weren't the kids. This is how God shows people in certain ways, is once the money's gone, the kids don't give a shit no more because they know he was a bad guy. They know what he was doing was terrible. But I think that God showed them what they needed to see. And then there was two sisters. One of them didn't want nothing to do with none of it because, bad things. And the other one lived in a whole different state. She came back to do everything she could, and she went through some terrible things with them too. And God showed her, because she was being over and above kind and loving, because she believes that, what the Bible tells her, and love each other and forgive each other. But when somebody does something so horrific, he didn't tell you to go and spoon feed them and stuff. Forgive them, love them, but don't, you learned a lesson. But it wasn't enough. So God made another lesson for her where she had, by this happening, she saw what her siblings were doing right out in the blue, right in front of her, how they were acting. She got to see that, and then now she's going to see that she went, because we all have free will, she went over and above, because she's a practitioner, right? So she doesn't want to lose her job, but she even threw it in their faces. Well, maybe I'll lose my job and stay here and take care of him because he's really not, he needs home care. And they all were like, yeah. No. But she did that. I think maybe God put that in her head so she could see how her siblings are. And then her next lesson is probably going to be, I went way overboard with this. The guy's a piece of crap. He did some terrible things to the whole family and grandkids and everything. And it's a life lesson. It's something God always shows us miracles and what you need to see and hear at different times. And I just think it's not ha-ha funny, but it's funny to me how God does these things, and it's just the way it teaches everybody about life and how your free will. And forgive people, but don't spoon feed them and come down here and blow your whole life away over something that is horrifyingly happened in your family, like what they experienced. I know there's I got some family members they own a lot of land and homesteads and stuff, and they're fighting like cats and dogs and who's on the will, who's first on the executor. It's like, man, forget it. I walk away from that stuff. It's drama. It's the root of all evil is money. I truly believe that if you take money out of the whole equation, people will react the same way. They'll stop the fighting, and you know what? Like if you live in a certain town and they got factories, you can go to different factories and just do the work. There's no rush. It just needs to be done so people can go around, and if they need an excavator to clean up their land, or if they need to borrow a rototiller, or whatever the case is, and not borrow it. I mean, you can have it because we're all making it for free. I mean, you can't have everything. Once you take money out of the equation, it's like not everybody's going to want a race car, or not everybody's going to want to learn how to fly, but it's going to be there. And it's not going to cost you anything, because that's the whole thing. I used to say Chicago's an anthill, man. They're like crazy. They're running around like crazy there because they're chasing the mighty dollar. Who can get more money than the others? I mean, look at them. They're coming across the borders because our government's giving them all your tax dollars. And here, you're going to stay here for free. It's free. Look at them. They're acting like idiots because they don't offer this nowhere else. But if you take the dollar away, if you take the value of the money away, and everybody just work together, because we're all creators, right? We're all creators from God. We create. He created us to create. So we just create and take the money away. Food is free. Farmers keep farming. It'll correct the farmers because there's such greed in farming, man. They can't get enough land. The more land they get, the bigger equipment they get, the more money they make. Oh, please. You're just feeding all the world, and they're taking your crop, they're taking the crop away from us, and they're taking it over to other countries and charging them up the ass for it. They can raise their own crop. Have you seen Saudi Arabia? They got fields. They develop fields to create their own food. They don't need our food. This is the crap that's just all a smokescreen. So basically, it'll take all the greed from the world. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, that's the beauty about it all. And God's going to make you see that one day or another. It's just a matter of time. And that's why I think it's funny. I mean, it's like I said, it's not a ha-ha funny. It's just how God works in mysterious ways funny. It's like, man, did you see this? And I see it, and I just got up and my vibrations went whoosh, through the roof, because it's a miracle. It's a miracle. So if you say there's no such thing as miracles, things don't happen like that, that negative thought is so bad. I can't even stand to be around negative stuff or drama stuff, because it just brings you down. You got to get yourself up and open your eyes to this stuff. Get out in the world and stop slaving over this money. It's ridiculous. I just did a video before, and it's all about revenue and you all. That's all they do. They're idiots. Or here's another thing. Anybody ever have a boss that was an employee and then worked their way up to be a boss, and then all of a sudden they turn on you like a dog and they treat you terribly? It's over money. But if you don't have that, and we all just create and show up and do work, nobody's got to be anybody's boss. You just know what the work's got to get done, just like a farmer. Hey, that field's got to get planted. It's got to get hoed, get the weeds out. We got to combine it. We got to get it to where we got to get it to so we can make our bread, make this. We got to pick those tomatoes. They got all these machinery to do all this stuff. All we got to do is operate it. Just show up. Look how easy it is. But we're all following this money. And they put it in the Bible. Probably one of their biggest mistakes. That's right. Man. and they put in there the root of all evil is money, and it's so true. People want to turn it in a different way, saying, well, as long as you don't love money, it's not evil. No, the root of all evil is money. Prove me wrong. I've seen it. I've seen it where they took the money from the people and it stopped all the fighting. They were like, they just kind of went on and did their own thing. God works in mysterious ways, doesn't he? I mean, for another example, and I'm not going to sit here and point fingers. I don't want to do that. I just want to show you lessons. But my family, my siblings, we used to get along so good, have so much fun. The kids all had a blast. I don't think money was actually we were like in the slave trade kind of stuff where we all were working and we'd get together on holidays. And then slowly but surely, money started being the center of attraction for everybody. They started saying, you know, if I had a little more money. And when they start thinking like that, all of a sudden, things change. The evil comes in. And that's all I'm going to say. But it happens everywhere, except for one family. I know one family that does not do that, and it's amazing to me. But I'd say 98%, maybe higher, of the people go berserk. I mean, tell me if you know anybody that does not fight over wills and money. Mostly when the will comes around, when your folks start kind of getting old and fragile and stuff, all of a sudden, wham, stuff happens like that. And like I said, that one family, they're not like that, and they're godly. I love it. Hey, you guys all subscribe. I hope you have a beautiful day, because this sun is beautiful in the morning, even though it's a little chilly. See you. Oh, and one more thing. You know how you have family reunions? Well, that's actually not good. And let me explain. Family reunions should be about family and friends getting together and being loving and getting to know each other, because we're all from the same place, right? So I started this reunion. It's called Our Reunion, meaning everybody's invited. Nobody's left out unless you got some major problems, like, you know, if you got a problem drinking and you go berserk, you know, it's probably not a good thing. Or drugs. You know, if you're involved in drugs and you're going to sit there and act like an idiot, well, you're not going to be allowed to be there. That's just, you know, you can't do that. So get help. But anyway, we all get together. We all bring a dish to pass. You bring your own drinks and you bring your utensils. And all you do is sit down, have a feast, and everybody's going to be bringing games. And it's togetherness. It's unity. And I'm like, because why make a reunion? I'm thinking, why have a Thompson reunion? I eliminate so many good people. Why? Invite everybody. Anybody that wants to show up is part of the family. And that's what I started. And I love it. We're going to start the first one here in a couple weeks. So y'all be loving, and we'll see you later.